What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy again, Zach Dunya, with my boy Terrence. You know, the man with the pitcher of water. He can introduce himself. I don't need it.
Yeah, it's the chosen one. It's the guide one. It's the guide one. It's the chosen one. It's the man with the pitcher of water. And we have.
You hear? I don't know what else to say.
Today, I guess we're gonna discuss.
Yeah. We decided we really need like sisters to get their voice out. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want to feel like we're in a soapbox and we're, you know what I'm saying all this kinds of stuff. And a lot of the pushback comes from that we don't have a lot of female voices, you know what I'm saying? In real talk, we've always been trying to do that. Shout out to my sister's therapy, you know what I'm saying? It's the sister from the UK. Shout out to her, you know what I'm saying? She's the one that's always on there. Not my girl Nicer, she always shows up too. So, you know, this is another addition to that. You know, we don't want to be just a bunch of guys in a sausage fest up here just babbling on. So you can go ahead and tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, before I do that, I definitely want to touch up on what you said about, you know, wanting to have more women on there. And of course, you know, information comes to me and, you know, I'm just told about how the reason why you're going to have a problem also having a lot of women, because the women is the real target any damn way.
Yeah.
So we're going to be the most damaged, you know, because for one, we hold the most responsibility because we are the first keepers. Yeah. And we are the chooser of the men that we be with that make the children that we're going to teach, you know. Yeah, I'm not sure what to really introduce myself with, but I just feel like right now my name is all I'm gonna be given.
Yeah. So we like to kind of like freestyle. So the topic of the discussion so far is, why do Black people hate each other so much? And there's other groups of people that similarly have some of the conditioning. They're getting there. They're getting there eventually, like Hispanics and stuff like that. I kind of see like them kind of going through it with, you know, their community. But we are always, since we're the lowest of the totem pole in America, especially of race relations, like everything that's wrong in society is 10 times worse than the Black community. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to start off with why I think it is the way it is. I think we were really tight knit for a while, even under slavery. We, of course, had the house Negroes and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, back then. But everybody was, like, united in the same struggle to get their freedom, right? And then once you have freedom, so-called freedom, right? Yes. So-called freedom. We still united, and we had our own communities, even during segregation. We may have had the best facilities compared to our white and, you know, non-Black, adversaries, but we still had a tight-knit community. A tight-knit community resolves around a family. But after the Civil Rights Movement, I personally think that it was co-opted by other movements, and we're going to get into what those movements are. But one of the main ones, unfortunately, was feminism. Yep. And, you know, also we deal with the Vietnam War and then the rise of the drug war.
Can I say
you know
something?
What I'm saying? Yeah, go ahead, sister.
When you talk about feminism, that's like one of the first births. Because I don't like when people want to talk about, like, you know, I say the women's rights, gay rights. I don't want to hear any of that because we were the first asking not to be treated in a type of way.
Facts.
And so all of those other things were created to ignore and deflect against the real problem. If you had helped, you know, if you said you wanted that, then you would have asked that at the beginning. And then you wouldn't have did something else. There don't need to be all these other things because that one thing would have handled that completely. And it's also about holding yourself accountable because we are the ones who contribute to these things. Another thing that did come to me too was about how, you know, we are, for one, living and keeping up their legacy.
Yeah.
And they've taught our parents, and we will teach our children, unless you break the cycle. But you can continue because I've lost my thought.
Oh, no. It happens. It happens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So my boy, I don't know if you're male or female. Sorry if I misgender you. You know what I'm saying? I know these days that's causes a riot. You know what I'm saying? So YXNGAQ says, speaking facts. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Oh,
Yeah. So thanks for the love, by all means.
Go
ahead, Terrence.
I always used to say, it always started with the woman. I say, how do you conquer the people? Well, you go after their women, you go after their minds, make them think that they're independent from their men, and then now you just tore down the family unit, which is the structure for a society.
We can go farther back than that, though.
And way further back, though. But you know, I think it was the non-Black entities, I would say, that wanted access to higher levels of consciousness. And so what people would call race war or racism, I call geneticism, which is like the innate difference between being genetically or having melanin genetically and having melanin alternatively. And I think the ancient peoples, whether they were Black or white, they knew this. And so that's why there had to be a monopoly on the entire planet and keep the real indigenous people at the bottom of society, so that we didn't, rise back up to what we were, which was kings, queens, rulers, and gods and queens and goddesses on this land, on this earth. And they wanted to become us because consciously they cannot raise out of here like we can. We're omnidimensional beings.
Well, not only that, but they have no inheritance.
They have no inheritance, within the cosmos, and so they want to take it from us or filter their own opportunity to get out of here through us.
I said they can never take it from us because because as above, as below. We are in the bigger body that these people would call a Christ or God or the main spirit, and we are like the cells and blood cells that will attack the enemies, the infections inside the body. So regardless, they can never inherit it because this is not made for them. They would not survive here like that if they're not adhering to the laws of what keeps the house afloat, the spaceship afloat. Right. So if everything they're going to do is damage it, they're going to bring death to that thing. But either way, they can never, they're not stronger.
Yeah.
It's something I also kind of thought about. You talk about blood cells, you know what I'm saying? And inshallah, do your thing. Yeah, UK, man, you UK guys, man, have been showing a lot of love, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep on coming by in it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get down with the more UK slang. I watch a lot of Top Boy. You know what I'm saying? That's my show. But thank you so much, brothers. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually going to be going overseas pretty soon, so maybe I'll be able to do a stop in the UK, and if I, go to Speaker's Corner, you know what I'm saying? So I'll keep you all posted.
You better hit me up if you do that.
Yeah. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Take care. So when you were talking about the blood cells, I always thought about that, man, because there's an interesting theory. It's called pantheism, right? And in pantheism, all living creatures are a part of God or the Godhead, Allah, Yahweh, whatever, say Elohim, whatever you like to call it, right? Yeah. And then so one thing I always thought, right, is about what is cancer? What's the definition of cancer?
Oh, the disease?
Yeah, well, a cancer cell is a cell that's individualistic that does something that's harmful for the rest of the bodies and the cells around it, right? And that's what I think.
It's always white.
Yeah, especially
It's always white. Under a microscope, it's always white.
Yeah,
saying.
Yeah, exactly. So a crazy thing I just realized is that, especially in American society, what's really tearing this country down is it values individualism over community. And if you say that somebody's individual rights outweigh the greater good of the whole, collective. Then you're the collective. Then of course you're going to see destruction. I mean, animals don't even think like that. You can go to the safari, right? You'll see lions, gazelles, antelope, all chilling in the same river, drinking from the same water. And none of them are like, "Oh, I deserve more water than you. Nope. I'm a freaking gazelle. Oh, I'm a lion, blah blah blah." And they'll eat that, and then they'll go back to their ways. And when it's time to hunt, of course, they're going to do what they need to do, but they can coexist in the same environment. What in America, right? It's like, no, this is mine. I own this. I own that. We have a sense of entitlement and all that kinds of stuff, and that just destroys a community. You know what I'm saying? That's at least my frame.
Because that's their mind frame, and they're the ones who taught us so far.
Yeah.
So we're just a reflection of their thoughts and everything like that. So, and as far as now, you already see some of us who will go to death and war to defend, the reality that is really fed to them, and that's not even theirs, They'd be unplugged from the matrix. They'd be like, "No, give me back and plug me back in." That's to go with the fear of the unknown, And that's what sucks too when they get to us as children and tell us how to be and not to be creative. Because when we say things, some people won't understand that, we already have this information embedded in us. I don't like the fact, like the guy that I work for, or anybody who says that they don't believe in the Bible because man wrote it. And it's like, for you who went to school, sir. Men wrote those books that you were reading, so what the fuck are you talking about? Like you are exposing the fuck out of yourself. Everybody around you who's going to do that, they're going to do that to themselves. And if people don't give a fuck about you and they just want to be in the midst to say that they're out here, they don't care about you got something in your teeth. They just want to be in the picture.
Oh yeah, man! I saw that the other day, man. People will let you go around looking crazy. I thought about the other day, like I shaved, right, and I had like a little cut, and it was like bleeding, and I went to like half my day at work, and nobody said anything. I was like, bro, I was out here looking foolish. I had blood on my shirt and stuff like that. I was like, man, you really not gonna say anything?
Yeah, I can tell you why too.
Yeah.
Because we've been conditioned in fear. Also, people are afraid to be honest and real because people don't like the truth nowadays. and they don't want to be a hater, and they don't want people, and that really has to do with subconsciously fearing for your life and your security, because some people are whacked out and they will kill you about a disagreement instead of just moving along and not being in the area of existence anymore, as far as two beings recognizing that you exist.
And that's some real stuff. That's one thing I kind of miss about being in the South is Black people, because the South is like the hotbed of like the race relations, right? Black people, our history there is in stone about the oppression and this, that, and the third, right? Black people, the way that we kind of communicate over there is we don't let people go out looking like crazy, like, yo, man, like, hey, you got this on your face, or hey, man, like, you know what I'm saying, you got a stain on your shirt. You know what I'm saying? We kind of like want to let each other look good because we know that the way the rest of the world looks at us. We want each other looking good because we know the whole world's microscope is on it. And look at Black culture. Black culture is international, bro. Yeah. Look at hip hop, jazz, blues, rock and roll, everything like that. It's international, right? So the whole world looks upon Black people for whatever is like cool and trending, right? So we're under a microscope constantly, whether it be by the popo or, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the boy over there, you know what I'm saying?
Just looking, taking notes.
That made me think about when people talk about cultural appropriation. And like earlier, I was discussing with you about how they try to make good bad and bad good. There's nothing wrong with cultural appropriation. They're supposed to be following the fuck up out of us. Look at when they don't. And when they want to do what the fuck they want to do and want you to follow them because they want to be able to do those things. So no, they're supposed to be,
That's some real talk, man. That's an interesting way to put on that. That's real talk, man. Especially when the actual like diet that we had originally before we came here, and we were fed scraps and pigs and all that nasty stuff. Mm-hmm. And the Black African diet, you know what I'm saying, it was like one of the healthiest diets, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Eating to live.
Yeah, now people live to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Because they've been sold drinks and all kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly. But people over on the continent, especially, weren't eating like pig feet and chitlins and stuff, man. Dogs won't even eat half of that stuff.
I like seeing a meme and they said that, the chicken only tastes good because of this, and above they had a whole bunch of fruits and vegetables. It's like, that is what we are drowning our stuff in, is in herbs and vegetables and fruits and stuff like that. And it's like, without that chicken definitely would not have a name. Yeah. So, that's one of the things you have to understand about witchcraft and stuff like that, because that's what it's a form of. They're casting spells, and it's like, so you have to be breaking these spells. Right on. You want to keep yourself wanting to gain knowledge so that you could always be aware that somebody is trying to hypnotize you, and they won't. When they're exposed, then there's nothing that you can do. You can't really be successful with those spells.
Man, you chopping it up, man.
It's just like if somebody did a spell on you and you didn't know, you wouldn't be able to do something to counteract that. But if you knew about it, you could fight against that. So you want to be knowledgeable in everything. You don't want to stop being offended by things.
Nice.
That's like, look, for one, everybody
seek to understand sometimes. Overstand, actually. Understand and overstand.
Everybody's different and everything isn't made for everybody, but they want you to believe cookie cutter shit.
Yeah, exactly.
For one, you might like some water and it's nice and cool, but that shit burning me the fuck up. I don't need to be hearing people saying, no, it's okay, get in, and name calling me. For me, I wouldn't care because I'm going to be the one getting burnt up. Mm-hmm. Just like when I used to drink, and when they would want you to drink more, and they'd be like, they want to be like, you're whack or you're bitch, you're scary, this and that. And it's like, their arguments have no foundation. Because for one, your arguments and your name calling does not outweigh the fact that I'm going to be the one over the toilet. Like, so I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. You guys, if you had a better argument, and that's another thing of, another example of witchcraft and spelling, they try to cast a spell on me by using fear and, and hoping that they can instill me being, insecure.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They just remind me of something. My brother Terrence broke it to me like when we were first kicking it. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, man, think about the English language, man. They call it, spelling. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Cursing. Mm-hmm. And then you watch what? A television. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? To get a program. Yeah. And what's in the programming? Advertisements. Adversity. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it, bro.
Entertainment. Ment is the mind, mental. Yeah. Entertain to containment or entertainment. Yeah. Enter your mind into something else.
Yeah, you can definitely see like all they want you to do is be limited, and that's why they want you to be offended about everything. And not going for one, like I was saying, how everybody's different. What's for me? Because just like when it comes to if you are into and know more about the astrology, depending on where your placements is at, certain things will affect you.
And they know this. The European, the white man knows this, and that's why they feed it to us through social media, TV. That's the black people's biggest thing is TV, sports, and pop culture. Like, obviously they copy it from us, but we're the first ones to, we're the last ones to receive the benefits of what they're copying us from.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think, you're absolutely right, Sam.
And also with that is this. It's like some people could be drinking alcohol, but some people could not because their liver is going to be the thing that they have to look out for themselves that's, unique to them. They might be susceptible to having certain problems. So in either way, that also goes with what you're here for, what you signed up to come here for. So that's not doing those certain things are not within your calling. So that's why you're going to be built up in a way to get fucked up when you're going the wrong way. Because there's no, no is never a bad thing, but they want us to think that no is bad. But that it's just, it's just calibrating and mapping shit out. Because the no gets you closer to the damn yes. If I'm looking for a guy and it's a bitch, I need that no. I don't want her. So wow, it's just a lot of confusion. People should really step back and really, go within themselves. They're too much out. That's what they're talking about in the Bible, being worldly. You're too much out there. Go within first.
I was me and Terrence were talking about this the other day. We saw a video, man, and so in Islam, there's an idea called the Dunya, right? So the Dunya is this life, this temporary life. The Bible constantly, has same idea about this life is just temporary, right? And it's just a test, right? So some people, they use their entire life chasing these dreams of wealth, beautiful people to sleep with, popularity, fame and stuff. But why do all these rich people suffer from depression, they kill themselves, they overdose on drugs? Why? Because this is temporary. It's always a high that you can't reach.
Well, I'll tell you what, too, also why they are going through that, because the rich people that you know of, other than ourselves who become wealthy in a sense, which we are rich because this is our stuff, we are not poor at all. But when you build on their, reality in their movie, then of course that's what roles you're saying you're playing. Forgot again. Go ahead.
Absolutely. I think that's what's wrong with the black community.
I want to. I forgot.
The reason we hate each other is because we're confused about where we were. Our spirituality was taken from us, and we're the main ones focusing on the materialistic world. Not realizing it's we've sunken. It still saves us in a sense that we've sunken into the material. But at the end of the day, that's the material is the lowest level of the feminine aspect, which is where we are right now. That's why we're called the fallen. That we're the fallen race.
And I guess to answer, because I can easily go to the basic root of issues and problems, because everything is connected for one thing. But the main reason why we're having problems with ourselves too is because what is a war? That's confusion. And when you don't have the knowledge, aren't you confused too? So we're warring with ourselves, and especially when you don't know you have a lower self and that you need to find balance and peace within yourself. And that's what we came here to do, and that's why we created them too, because we had to separate our higher selves from our lower selves. We're here to learn and gather information. The information I also got through is that, it's like playing Grand Theft Auto. Our main spirit is the one with the controller. And
that's what I said.
When we think and everything and dream and all the information that goes on, it's like the controller that the beacons that the information goes bounce back and forth of. And then we're the characters who play in the game. And when you think about it also, the fact that we cannot see at full capacity out of our eyes tells you already that this is a simulation. So this is not even real. So they have you, they have you being afraid of something. And that also shows you how when they talk about living forever, no, we don't die. We ascend to different dimensions.
Yep, the next level.
And we on the ghetto dimension right now.
It's called Dunya for you.
Yes, it's like where you do your shadow working at.
Yeah, shadow work.
So I was just gonna shout out Nicer. Nicer's in the building. You know what I'm saying? Bringing the pig back. Of course, all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? Black on both sides, as they say. So, Nicer. She's always been a fan of mine since day one. We've been on other podcasts. Nicer's Native American. You know what I'm saying? Wow. And I think that what goes on in her community is very similar to us. When you break people down, you take away the traditions and the spirituality, man, and then you give them what you want them to believe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You mess with their consciousness, because you look at the Native American community, man, they got some of the same problems. Like, you go to the reservations, they got like high crime, drugs, suicide, alcoholism, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And they were placed there just like we were placed in the projects. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
Can I
know,
say one thing about that? Of course, we're gonna go to the same thing because when anybody's upholding our space in our space of who the natural people is and who the land it really belongs to, and who's really in charge, who house it really is. Of course, just like with the when we're talking about the rights, if you are not cleaning and helping and contribute to the homeowner's house, yeah, you're gonna be devised too because you can get it too. When you are following their mission, when it's in the fight of good and evil, there's a basket. And which basket are you filling? That's what it really comes down to.
Yeah.
And the fact that they make you hate who you really are when you discover that you're not even who you said that you are, that those are corporate entities that they put on you. And that there are only two races.
You know what makes me feel like crazy, man, is like when I was a kid, bro, I used to really hate the skin I was in, man, because I was looking at all the cartoons, all the Disney shows, and I was like, besides the closest thing was like Aladdin at the time, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was like, oh, Aladdin's a nigga anyway, you know what I'm saying? He's a street rat, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? But like real talk, man, I used to think I was so ugly, you know what I'm saying? And like, I didn't think I was beautiful. I was so uncomfortable with my skin, you know what I'm saying? And it took me time to kind of like realize that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm one of the people of the sun, you know what I'm saying? It's beautiful, this skin is so beautiful, man. And people are mystified by it, bro, you know what I mean? And it's crazy. It's crazy to think that like so many of our children are grown up in this world and they hate them. They hate themselves. They don't think they're pretty. They don't think they're beautiful. You know what I mean?
Long hair. And sometimes the people. You're right. The people, the men and the women, they grow up thinking that they have to acclimate to a certain identity based on that. We kind of lose ourselves.
You know why else we're here too? What the third dimension is all about? The undercover boss. Because when we post, that's why we're going to be taking back our leadership. You know, it's going to take about like 7 years.
Yeah.
But we have to, we ain't tacky like that when it comes to our work. We don't come in as a manager and he never did the little dirty work. So we have to understand what people go through at the lowest, and that's why we make them. So that we're going through that so that we understand what's going on. And the judgment day is always here because for one, you got to judge yourself. You have that all-seeing eye within you. But when we come into who we are, and when we are, being the judges of the land and helping correct the land and heal the land and restore the land, they gonna get over us with them lies. Sorry, sir, we lived in the same boat. I know you ain't shit. You cannot say that you didn't mean to. That's why it says ignorance to the law is, there's no excuse for that. Because you know damn well what you was doing.
Facts.
You know damn well. It don't matter. We here and you can't fool us like how you see we're being fooled right now.
Yeah.
You will not. So that's another reason why we go through the things that we go through. There's nothing wrong with what's going on, and they want us to believe that it is.
I think in our community we don't have enough women being women and enough men being men either. The women, they want so bad to be women, but they feel like they have to acclimate and adjust to masculine qualities to survive. Because the men aren't doing enough to step up, but the men have been emasculated, and the women
they get kicked out of the house due to welfare and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And even if they didn't get kicked out of the house, you got to go to when they were looking for work and they're getting paid less than those counterparts. That's doing that to them
real
also.
talk. That's what's up.
And like I was I mentioned earlier about I forgot what I was saying, but when I said that it goes farther back than that, what they did was to get to the women. You wouldn't want people to be confused and be like, well, the women weren't the first, they killed the men first or whatnot. That's one of the things the women have to hold dear because that's the protection. Yeah. That's one other way to get to her. And then she's distraught, and now we're gonna get to your kid. And that all gets to the woman.
Facts, bro. And I was even thinking about it like, what's it called? There's an actual book that's coming out right now, and a documentary called Buck Breaking, you know what I'm saying? And how, Massey, when people, we were, enslaved and stuff like that, one of the things he did was humiliate the man in front of his woman. He was like, you can't protect your woman, and then now on top of that, you can't protect your children, and I'm gonna break you. And we all know what that means, right? And you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine how humiliating that was for a strong black African man who be broken down.
And the woman.
That, you know what I'm saying? The woman, of course, that's why they always had her in the house, you know what I'm saying? Because he could have his way in the house. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of crazy that it's like that. You know what I'm saying? We have generational trauma of that. You know what I mean? And that's why we don't get along. It's because I think there's a resentment of lack of protection. Like we feel like, I think like a lot of our sisters feel like you didn't protect us when we needed you. And a lot of black men are like, hey, well, we were humiliated in front of you and you still chose to be with Master. You know what I'm saying?
And also with that, and when you put it up to when they had them saying, if you want help, you got to get the man out of the house. And then whatever woman's talking about, they can't provide or whatnot. That also is the same thing played out. And we have to understand these different things is the same shit.
It's just in a different environment.
Yes.
Different context.
Subconsciously, when you emasculate the man like that, and when we go back to the animal instinct, it's almost like they're dangling in your face. Yeah. Oh, you thought you got the yokest dude that could protect you. You thought you had a protector. And do you, it's almost challenging that subconsciously. And how do we play that out in this realm when we step out of the conscious? You got to go. This, that, they don't say that because they're unaware of themselves, for one. And so they can't even touch upon that. So those be the real things and the real reasons. And that's what us learning to just lie naturally in the bad way. There's nothing wrong with lying. Because if somebody ain't for you and they wild and you need to lie to get them out their face so you can be safe and not doing no bullshit, the lie was never bad.
Yeah, we actually have that in Islam too. Like if your life's in danger or something like that, you can't lie, and it's not considered a bad thing, because especially people out there, man, like they want to misuse you and abuse you and stuff like that. And like I learned the hard way, bro, in this life, man. You got to meet people that are shady. You know what I'm saying? You give you wear your heart on your sleeve, and you learn those. I think that's another thing about black people too. Is we're one of the most friendliest. We wear our heart on our sleeve. We're very emotional. We're very passionate about things, right? And over the history, people taking advantage of that, and then we get kind of cold, right? That's not what we're naturally supposed to be, cold and cruel to each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's not our nature. I mean, if you look at like old pictures, man, no matter, even when we were enslaved, we still found reasons to laugh. You know what I'm saying? And found reasons to like celebrate the small things. And go ahead.
What we're doing now and what that has to do with, and like I said, the as above and below, and when I was talking about the cells and stuff like that, as you can see, this is like, the interpretation of the spiritual world of how the body, it's like almost looking in your own body. This is what's going on. And so you can see what it needs to do to repair itself and how you regenerate itself. It goes within itself and learns more about itself, and you have to learn about the bad parts, and you have to learn about that so you can learn how to become one with your lower self, and come to that full knowledge.
Yeah, we are the mankind, or at least the black man and black woman are the root chakra of God. You can say that, you know what I mean? That's what we are, the fallen aspect. We have to procreate to stay here, and I don't think a lot of black people, I don't even like saying black, a lot of melanated indigenous people don't realize who and what we are. Our future. Who and what we are,
Yeah, that's what's up. So I got my name, my boy Sir Abadahu. Yeah, man. What's up, man? I haven't seen you in a whole minute. Thanks for joining the stream, man. Another brother up in the house, man. Like, we've been chopping it up and just basically talking about why do black people hate each other. You know what I'm saying? And I would invite some people on, but we've been having some mic issues. Like as far as like the mic for my laptop is not really good out in public settings because there's so much noise going on and stuff, and it gets kind of kicked up with it during there. But by all means, in the comment section, say your piece. If you have any questions about things you want us to elaborate on, put it in the comment section, man. We can chop it up about that, man. We're just having a good time, just freestyling. So what do you think is was like the overall solution? What do you think is we could do? Yeah?
Yeah, for one.
About our history, about everything. Yeah, true.
Well, just keep it at its base. Because when you don't have the truth, you make informed decisions. So, and that don't get you close to yours. You just following those. So, truth is what, is what is needed. And the fact that we have to take responsibility for who we are thinking and what we're doing. And we can't follow them. Well, why they get to we don't do that. We don't want to do what they're doing.
We also try to keep on comparing ourselves to them. We're better than them. Why do we do that?
One thing I be hating.
That's why they assimilated who we are in our culture.
One of my family members who don't dress up the part, they just think, I just wear what I want, this and that, and want to wear ugly little onesies and stuff like that. They want us to not look like who we are.
Thanks.
And it really matters about appearance. That's why they got their costumes with the police on it, because they want to look like authority, and they're not. They're just an agency, pretending, script readers.
That's why a lot of them become cops, because they feel inferior.
Inferior complex.
Yes.
I mean, even in their history, man, they know that they were dwelling in caves when we were building pyramids.
Right.
Exploring.
No, they don't call amnesia, remember?
They want to write themselves into history.
Yeah.
When it was all us.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly, man.
And especially the children today who have inherited the parents' bullshit that's been passed down. It's like, don't be mad at me because Mammy and Pappy lied to your ass. And then you have to understand, I remember there was one woman on there saying that she was Native, and she completely looks white, and I know she's not Native. And she said, blood, this is and that, and they test. When the shit's rigged, the shit's rigged. But don't be mad about the truth. The parents didn't tell you the truth. And when they was buying their nationality for $5, nobody tells grown kid business, and nobody don't. I mean, but yeah, they don't tell a kid's grown people business. And when they don't go, all right, we did this, and when Timmy turns 18, we're gonna tell him the truth. They are just like us, fucking up. They doing they fucking dirt. They busy living the wrong damn life. They don't have time to tell you the damn truth. They done already lied to you, forgot about that. They done moved the fuck on. So, don't be offended by the truth. Accept the truth and accept yourself. And that's how you have real love. And that's one thing I don't like about that, the gay movement, all that stuff, when they talk about be yourself. Well, I'm sorry, as much as you change any body parts, your DNA is still telling on that ass. Stop being delusional. That's a mental issue. Really.
Yeah, shout out to my boy.
To not really be secure with who you are. If you're gonna do that, you might as well say this. I like oh well. Other than that, stop saying, oh, how do you feel about this? And then want to be clutching for pearls when you know that the answer could either been a yes or no. And then you want to talk about people hate. Get your ass in the closet and stop asking people how you look when you look toe down and you don't want to hear that shit. Go the fuck, mind your own fucking business and live your fucking life and stop forcing people to say how they feel about shit that ain't got to do with you.
Facts.
Then you won't be offended.
And you know what's
stop
funny?
Fishing.
Shout out to you for mentioning there's one of my favorite comedians, DL Hughley. He had a skit where he was talking about, you can convince yourself you're a woman all you want, but when you hit 60, I guarantee you're taking a prostate exam.
But what's wrong with being who you want to be, especially if you preach that? That's who you are. You started off with. Just say you this and you like doing this and go get those stuff done and say you don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you don't have to prove anything to anybody.
Yes, as long as we keep hiding, it's going to, and encouraging each other to hide, then y'all always going to be scared to really be who you are. And that's what makes people talk shit when people act like that and want to judge other people being their business. That is mind your own business, do what's best for you. And understand what's wrong with that and what you're doing wrong. You have to understand they want to damage everybody any fucking way. And when it comes to the natural people, and they really want to leave us astray and kill our families off, and that's why they really promote that stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All of those movements, everything that they're doing is to promote our demise.
Yeah.
Because we're following them. As you see
it's
now,
a
lot of our children, they embody their characteristics. They have them as friends. Ain't nothing wrong with having them as friends. But when your mind ain't right, that shit dangerous.
Oh, exactly. Because they could be. Oh, go ahead, Terrence. You were about to say.
Because they assimilate us,
and they taught us how to assimilate ourselves.
Look at the average black man, right? In terms of like if you look at how women are attracted to us, you look at the epitome of success is the white man. That's why every race goes outside of their race to get with a white man, because that's the epitome of success, sustainability, and everything. But really, it's just a model of the black man. But the black man is so low. That's why they're still willing to cheat on their man and have sex with us and really crave us. But we're not assimilating that lifestyle that we once lived, which is them assimilating who we once were.
It's also them projecting their insecurities onto us.
Yeah.
Because that's why they're doing all the great.
Yeah, they know that. What's funny is like they'll give themselves cancer to tan their skin. Yeah. Because they know they can't do it naturally.
Yeah.
The guy that I work for, he as a scientist, he have dealing in patents and stuff, worked on the birth control. So I know why he don't want to look in the motherfucking mirror, because especially he care about people and he really thinks this shit is real. And it's funny for him to be like, oh my God, how did they find out this? That's impossible. Look how he's ignoring his natural mind and what he knows about this shit. But he listening to actors. These ain't real doctors. They can hire anybody and say they said this. Yep. They don't have to tell any of the real scientists either, because they only one gets picked, and then for them, they ain't the one who got picked to tell the information. But they go on with it, but they're still scratching their heads. And then they're afraid of being shot down, and they masked out with, we're just trying to follow rules. We don't go, nobody's ever hitting the root of what the damn problem is.
Yep.
So that's the main problem. Just lies, scary ass people.
Yeah, man. This is good. This is a good convo, man. So if you're still in, like, share, subscribe, please. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is good content. We're having conversations in public, man. We don't care, man, if people are gonna look. You know what I'm saying? Let them look. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We're still gonna represent. You know what I mean?
Down, like I said, I be doing.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like, that's why we have content in public and outside, because because we're free. You know what I'm saying? And then like we got the sun out, man. It's a beautiful day outside, man. I ain't scared of nobody, so let's chop it up. We had a po-po over there the whole minute. She was taking notes. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we was dropping game on him. So
I did. My nephew had gotten kidnapped. And I had like more than 20 dumb police officers outside my house. So while I was speaking with one of them, it was funny because I did say to him, it's like, I was letting him know, like, they shouldn't have to be going through any of it. Nobody, we're poisoning ourselves with hormones, the bad hormones on top of that. You're really taking away your life. And I don't think that that's fair that everybody's being led astray. But then everybody do have to hold accountable that they're ignoring what they're doing. Because they're scared. And so I'm talking to a police officer and I'm like, aren't you happy that you at work and you got to be at work? You get to be over here key and cracking up because I'm cracking them up and shit like that. And so it's like, at the end of the conversation when they're all wrapping up, he was like, can I get your number? Because he wanted to hear more. And at the time and where I was at, I don't really reach out to people and talk to people. And so I know I don't want to be like, yeah, and then have to feel beat down because now I got to call people or pick up a phone. So I just let him know, like, no, I don't call people. So if you call, I ain't gonna pick up. So, but I should have went ahead and gotten his number. So for me, I can get more insight because I love learning, and that's gonna make me great at what I do and knowing who I'm dealing with. On top of that, and also learning how to influence and change minds because they, it's nothing but love because it's understanding because they've been led astray too, and that's one thing that they be afraid about. They really think we have no understanding and that we were Italian. It's nothing but love. Like for the people who got my sister, they're scared because of the paperwork she did, and so it's like she keeps telling them like it's like it's like just give my damn child back and everything can be peach and cool. Y'all can move on and just learn. And then you don't have to be putting yourself in these situations. But when you want to be like, it's your job, but then y'all be at y'all job, be in the paper, and then bringing your personal selves at work. When you're just supposed to pull the lever, read the instructions, and do that. We need you to do that, and that's why you are here. Because the paper don't do it itself. And they are completely confused and don't even know why they're doing anything that they're doing.
Wow, man. So, we're still, a little over half an hour or whatnot. So I think I'm going to start with closing statements, you know what I'm saying, and get everybody get their final piece. From the topic or whatever like that, what are some things that in the future you think we need to watch out for? You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of different, like we talked about, movements going on right now. And for our children, what can we do? Like, regardless if you have a child or not, we still like to mentor the youth, you know what I'm saying? And so what can we do to mentor the youth to make them not make the same mistakes that our generation made?
Well, I have a daughter, and so I definitely tell her the truth. I don't lead her astray. Because, for one, I want her to be her best. I don't like dumb people, and I cannot own one. So I'm serious about that. And I'm not selfish. I understand children aren't really children. They're packaged adults. You ain't fitting in the womb being this big. So you have to be packaged down, and being packaged down, you lose efficiency, and you have to redevelop. That really explains, too, when we come here and why we forget things and who we are. We have to relearn, and we learn differently because every time we come back in a different time, it's a whole different environment that we are experiencing. So then we become, we act out things differently. Yes, it's people have to really care. We have to get about their fucking schools because that's just their institutions. School, what is that? Those are animals. Trespassing, that's animals. And like I said, they're probably not on here, but their foremothers are have monkey blood. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's how you got here in this realm, but it is the truth. And forgot where else I was going, but damn.
No, I feel you on that. I think I'm going to use the homosexuality movement as a example because I think that's one of the main movements because you mentioned children, bro, and if we can't even have our kids identifying, first, it's hard to identify being black alone because we're trying to assimilate to the society that they built. But if we're putting more and more filters on top of that, you have homosexuality now being perpetuated. I think that's one of the biggest cancers that has plagued the hearts and minds of young people.
But you even have to you have that cancer because of confusion.
And you can't notice. There's a good old saying: the people that are truly in charge are the people you can't criticize. You can't criticize.
You never see them.
There's two groups of people that you can't criticize. One with the small hats that think that they're the so-called Hebrews, those people, and then the rainbow.
Oh, they know that they're not. They be telling you all day within their words that yes, I'm this, but I'm this, and from here. But they don't give a damn. But either way, that's
using the same criteria to find self that was given to them as when they were slaves.
Regardless, they're rightfully doing what they're supposed to do anyway. Because why would we move if we ain't being pushed? And this is the place where we're supposed to learn anyway. So they're playing their correct roles. Everybody's in their correct roles because this is all about us anyway.
I just want to give a shout out to my YouTube page because I have a video I have a 2-hour long video where I'm breaking down homosexuality where it stems from, and how it relates to this reality. It's my YouTube is the guided one, the chosen one. For those of you who want to check it out, and then my Instagram is the man with the picture of water. I'm the only person with that name on Instagram, so just look me up. You'll see me. I have 2 wings coming out. 2 blue wings. So
that's what's up. Yeah, don't check out his channel. And hey, we got my boy Shango, the Eternal, up in here, bro. This is check out this brother's channel, man. He talks about the same stuff, man. We're gonna go in, Shango. I'm gonna send you an email when we do that one about homosexuality and the rainbow community and the rainbow agenda, bro. We're gonna go deep, bro.
I'm gonna bring my video too, man. I'm gonna take some notes, man.
Okay, so Nicer, you said Zachy. I don't know. I got a typo in there, but if you're ever conversing with other natives, just use indigenous instead of Native American, get a better chance for a candid conversation. You know what? Yeah, I use that. I like the term indigenous a lot more. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
I do too, but I'm sorry. I don't care if anybody's offended by the truth.
Yeah.
I don't get, I don't get to escape by and get grace like that and be ignorant.
Yeah.
I gotta accept the hard truth. And plus,
yeah.
that's all I want is the truth, so I can make the right decisions. And when I go out doing something and talking about something, I'd rather be talking about what I'm actually talking about.
Yeah, for me though, like it's
and that's
like
what we have to do. Stop being so, like I said, sensitive about stuff.
Be bold. Tell the truth.
Yes,
how I feel about it.
Gonna hurt, so
it's just like, for instance, I don't even like the term black, man, because black people, so-called black people, are the most coming. We have great shit. We got dark chocolate, man. We got the freaking caramel. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We got yellow mocha. We got all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's just something because they didn't know what to classify us. They just dropped it. You know what I'm saying? In one big bucket.
Well,
or whatever
when
like
you
that,
really look into the law and what black is and what's the law, black is dead in the law. We're really the right people.
Black's dictionary. Or Black's, dictionary
and that's how they use something and make it once again bad. When there's nothing wrong if we were calling ourselves that. It's only bad because they asked us here.
Yeah.
So and then what they're doing.
It's their definition, their perception. So anything pertaining to us or to the cosmos is considered evil. Yeah. Muhammad Ali had a great interview where he talked about that.
Hey, so Nicer wants to know if you can put in your channel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the guided one, the chosen one. You can type it in, bro. The guided one, the chosen one.
And I'll put mine in. Although on my Instagram, at least I'm not really active yet, but I will be in the future as far as doing videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, you should.
I am.
You got some
knowledge. That's why I say here because this can get me in without me having to do the work. You doing all the work.
Pretty much,
And that way, I can get into a habit and, because I don't like pushing myself too hard. I like to really fill it out, be more forgiving so things don't look hard. If you give yourself the whole palette, then I ain't going to deal with that.
Because it's so much power and energy, and that's why I want to give a shout out to Sis here, is that there's so much power and energy in you, but you're giving it in a subtle way. And I think it's because we need to start, like I said before, we need to start creating a platform and a way for our sisters to thrive. And if that's how they're going to start depending on us. If we feed them, clothe them, and put a roof over their head, they're going to come back to us. They're not going to chase the white man's money.
No.
You know what I mean? So I just want to put that
Well,
out
already
there,
try not to chase them, but when you got something for one, the miseducation, and then your own men saying bad things, and then you got the women on the other side saying bad things about the men and the women, and vice versa. So, definitely gotta nip all that in the butt and just be show all love.
Yeah.
Because if we're going to be hateful for each other, then we're saying that we deserve to have, to have that, because this is an equal place. You can have anything you want.
Oh yeah.
Just like like it happened. Like being here. You want death and destruction. You can have that. We will put you down. That's love.
Yeah.
If you're hurting, you don't have to hurt no more.
Yeah, black people, man. Like I said before, man, we have the biggest hearts of anyone on this planet, bro. You know what I'm saying?
We feel the most. Yeah,
we feel the most, bro. And that's why every single movement that's out there, black people have always supported other groups of people, but other groups of people never supported us. That's why I'm going to keep it real. This is my last closing statements. When these Asian hate crimes happen, I tell you what, I have my heart out for them, but at the same time, man, I feel some type of way because I remember I went to your liquor store, your corner store, and how you treated me. But now you want me to back you up and stuff like that, like you're going through the same thing that I'm going through. When you actually benefit more in this country than we ever did. So, you know what I'm saying? And we've always supported other communities, even the gay rights movement. Black people ended up supporting that, you know what I'm saying? And because we're like, we know what it's like to be treated like crap, and what has it done for us? You know what I'm saying?
What I was talking about was in the Constitution and how, for one, all this stuff is ours, which is known because if they just got here, of course it's ours. and they're using our resources, the elements to build these things. And in the Constitution, we're supposed to be able to go into these buildings and get whatever we want because it's our stuff anyway. And you can see how this the subconscious is outwardly doing the play of why they're mad when you come to the stores. You are supposed to be getting stuff for free.
Oh yeah.
You became the other titty that they want to milk the cow with. First they milk it, then they chop it up, they throw bad parts away, and as time goes on and they get more greedy, they start to take the stuff out the trash and never throw those pieces away and give it to you again because they find in other ways that they can milk the cow. So I think when you're mindful of that too, and remember they came here for commerce and business is business. You got to look into the stuff like it is, and it became a corporation. And if you look up those things, then you'll find out those things. The things that they don't want you to know, they want to really make you think that they are a natural government.
Corporation running as a country.
And I'll tell you what, everybody governs themselves regardless. That's what you're supposed to do. If you look back and how people handle stuff back in the day, it was because of that. But they want you to be
self-accountability, you know what I'm saying?
They want you to be as independent. I'm sorry, not independent. They want you to be as dependent as possible.
Facts.
Because everything that you're holding yourself out is your food. Your clothing is going to feed and your body in a way, everything. Yeah, they want you to have. That's how they have control. They don't want you to be independent and govern yourself. They're going to make you think that you're supposed to do what they say, and that you're not good enough or competent enough. You can never be competent enough to govern yourself. Which, regardless, while they're feeding you those lies, you're governing yourself to let them govern you. You've made that choice to follow them and continue to follow them. So all those excuses, any of them got what the government says this, no. You have signed up for an agency that's supposed to do a justice and a service to you and whoever uses it, but you got con artists up there, and they have tainted the pools of a place that has nothing is wrong and have everybody calling it bad.
Facts. That's what's up. So man, I see we got like a lot of people that came in here late, man, but I see in the chat room, y'all chopping it up too as well, man. That's why we're willing to create this space. And so I wanted to bridge gaps, you know what I'm saying? And also just get the truth out there, man, because let's look on YouTube, man. You can get millions of followers for talking about makeup tutorials and how you got your ass implants from Brazil, or, you know what I'm saying, all that kinds of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Or how much cakes you can make in 5 hours or some stupid shit like that. Nobody's really dropping any gems.
Everybody's addicted to being ignorant.
Yeah, everybody's addicted to being ignorant.
Addiction is a real and you build a habit of being in the wrong.
Right.
Where you can't even see that. And you know how people stuck on they addicts and stuff? They're gonna be shaking without their drug. They don't know what to do. They don't have the habit. It makes you just like how we have to relearn to eat. It's like there's nothing wrong, and it's bad because it can't work now.
That's how the white man is going to feel once we raise up and he starts dying off.
That's why in the Bible it said that they will be going through what we're going through. They are now. That's why they're complaining in the way that they are. That's why somebody was like, "Why aren't you guys crying?"
That's why we do this. That's why they're pushing COVID and everything. It's one of their last little boys to get us subservient back to their program. But we're waking up. That sun is heating up.
It's also a way to
global warming.
It's also a way to push people not having the right to live the way they want to. Because I don't like the guys I work for because he's all for vaccination and stuff because he's blind. And he in bed with them. Then you got people speaking of, that goes back to the water reference that I gave. Now he's telling people that his water don't hurt them. And he wants to say to me, he cares about me, but he don't give a damn when I say what doesn't work for me. I know what's for me, and mind your business. If you care, hop on board what the fuck I say. But and it's like, as he's speaking to me, he don't realize he's being a fucking liar.
Thanks. Yeah, so we're gonna end the stream, man.
And I'll put in my
go ahead. If you want to type it,
I'm gonna say it also. Bay underscore. I'm sorry. Yeah, underscore Bay on Instagram, and I'll type it in too.
Yeah, you're a really big Shambo, bro. He had the same exact material, bro. He even talked about how like the Arabs still Islam.
They're not the natives to Islam, bro.
Yeah, exactly, bro. He was going
trying to get the Prophet ﷺ to be something he's not, but they admit all most of the prophets are black. It's like, well, let's say about Prophet ﷺ.
Yeah.
Say he used to braid his hair and everything. It's like that's weird.
Yeah. So peace, people. You know what I'm saying? Check out the sister's Instagram. Check out my boy, the chosen one, the guided one. He put his info in there. I typed it in. Thank you so much, man. We'll try to catch you on the flip side. I'm sorry that some of y'all came in at a late time, but I'll send y'all emails and we can chop it up and try to schedule something decent. We'll have a panel next time about this topic. So Peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Y'all take care. One
Peace
love.
and love.
That was good.